Shalom, shalom, beloved, and welcome to rYse Radio, a ministry of RBM, where it is our duty to equip and empower you to help prosper you in the Most High Yah and bring together Zion in one mind and on one accord in our King and our Messiah, Yahshua, the line of Yehuda, Judah. My name is Louis, and it's a pleasure to be with you all here today for just a brief update. Um, on where we are in this current month before we get too much into that. As always, what we do here is that we observe our feast, our Shabbats, new moons, our Shabbats, our feast days, according to our ancient Hebrew calendar, which is based on the Kodesh, the phases of the moon. Okay. And while I'm thinking of that, the last time I did a commentary, I talked about how the the moon or the Kodesh is to be depicted when the Most High created it, and that it was it was made on the fourth day, and that more than likely it was in its fourth day phase. I said waning is waxing. Waxing is when it's growing, and waning is when it's diminishing in light. Okay, so it was waxing in light, growing. Okay, toward the first quarter Shabbat, and then of course there's the full moon, then the third quarter Shabbat, which we just observed, and now we're headed toward the last quarter Shabbat, the final Shabbat of the month for Kislev. Okay, and of course, we do sound these trumpets here. We're not always able to do a commentary, but like I said, check out social pages listed in the bio, and you can stay updated there. So this is again the month of Kislev. All right, the ninth month on our ancient Hebrew calendar will be crossing over into the month of Isar. The 10th month on our Hebrew calendar, and it just so happens that we are beginning the observation of the Feast of Dedication. All right. And, I just want to real quick just, review some things that correlate with the month of Kislev, all right, or Teshar. This is the letter Tet here to the right. And, we see what, regarding this month, some, spiritually, it has to do with, containing, to surround. It has to do with the womb, duality, good versus evil, truth, concealment, harvest, fruit of the spirit, confidence. It signifies finality and judgment. And wow, let me tell you something. This month, it always seems to fall into October, and um, it's just an interesting time. As far as I can recollect, um, and I'm not sure if I'm the only one, but am I the only one who gets these dark visions around this time? When it comes to judgment. I don't know. I'm not going to get too much into that right now. However, um, like I said, we needed to make some corrections. All right, because previously, we confirmed that the new Kodesh or the new moon was seen on the in October. Back in October on the 17th, and because of weather or a cloudy sky or what have you, or where the Kodesh may be positioned, we don't always get to see it. When we do see it, we kind of depict how much it's illuminated. We go to other sources and resources to try to get different witnesses and things of that nature. And so again, like I said, it was a Tuesday evening. We confirmed the new Kodesh then on the 17th of October and marked our Shabbats by it. But I've been looking at it for the last couple of weeks, and the phases of the Kodesh. Um, and I think I was in error. You understand, and it happens. Apologies for that. And from time to time, we do have to correct it to make sure we synced up for the following month. You understand, or the approaching month. And so that's what we're doing right now. And with that, um, we're going to be um, marking the beginning of this year's observation regarding the Feast of Dedication back to the evening of the 10th. Okay, and I would have done this earlier. Pray for us here. Dealing with a lot, working, things of that nature. And so, based on our original calculations, the Feast of Dedication was supposed to begin earlier today or yesterday evening, right, from sunset to sunset. Um, but because of just my observation of the last, couple of weeks, and also there was a partial lunar eclipse that occurred on the 28th, if I'm not mistaken. Um, October the 28th, and I find that interesting, really interesting, that there was a partial lunar eclipse. Um, I mean, there was a solar eclipse that was seen in some areas, some regions of the world, in some states here in this country. Um, and then, like I said, following there was a partial lunar eclipse, and we've been getting these solar eclipse and these lunar eclipse, well, for the last few years, since I've really been tracking this thing. And that just really confirmed that. I'm like, wow. So it's like, on the 28th you had this partial lunar eclipse, right, about 3 days before that, when the actual new moon really did appear. It was like Monday evening to Tuesday evening is when we should have been observing the Shabbats. But like I said, we're under grace, so we thank the Most High for His grace. And once we get to where we need to be, we'll be able to more accurately depict the beginning of our month, so we can be on course for our Shabbat. But again, we had that partial lunar eclipse, and to me, that just kind of confirms, like, the Most High was just like saying, yeah, you might need to look at that again. And because it's like, you had this partial lunar eclipse a few days before the mid-month Shabbat, and then, um, how can I put it? So the following week was the third quarter Shabbat, the 21st day, and then on the 25th day of the month is when our ancestors observed the feast of dedication. You may hear it called Hanukkah, or what have you. But that's when it was observed. During the winter months. And some may still consider this fall. You understand? Our ancestors really observed two seasons, if I'm not mistaken. But without digressing into that too much, again, that partial lunar eclipse kind of marked, it corrected me, and then it actually marked the feast of dedication, because the feast of dedication came 2 weeks later. You understand? So, um, again, we're observing the feast of dedication as landing on this last Friday evening, November the 10th, um, and going into Saturday. But it's an 8-day celebration. So, um, and like I said, you really have to move in a Ruach Hakodesh. And I think it's a lesson in grace. We thank the Most High for His grace and His mercy. His goodness and His mercy should follow us all the days of our life. At least we should ask of that. And because it's very important in these last and wicked days, man, we're living in some very wicked times. And I was just, I had to, during the Shabbat last week, I was doing a commentary, and I was going to I was going to look more into kakat, which is the Hebrew word for waiting. And we're going to do that this week, the Most High willing. And you know, I just kind of went into this dream I had, you know, and I asked, and I was wondering, man, is anyone else out there in the body of Christ, or the body of our Messiah? Because Christianity is a different thing. Our people are coming out. So, but again, we praise the Most High for grace and mercies. However, like I'm saying, what I'm saying is that or asking is if is the Most High speaking to anyone else? Because I remember getting ready to go to bed that night, and just a real spirit of sorrow, like a heaviness, fell on me, and just very sad, and I remember asking the Most High, I was like, but please, not another one of those dreams tonight. Let me see something, you know, um, inspirational or something, a great outcome for the future or something. Speak to me that way. And sure enough, because I knew when I get like that, I know it's coming. And sure enough, I had another vision of not only the sixth trumpet sounding. I had a vision of what it is to be without the Most High Yah, and I remember ending that whole thing, that monologue with make sure you cover it with the blood of our Messiah. Make sure you cover with the blood of our King Yahshua, because that's the only thing that can save us in these last days. And but the Most High willing, when we do our next, we're going to do a prayer meditation and a Shabbat meditation. Hope it all goes well. I have to get up early for work in the morning, so we're not going to get into things too much, this evening. However, I will say that Zion, stand still and wait on the Most High, yeah, and stand still. Sometimes it's just that. I know you have to keep going about your day to day and taking care of your business. But when it seems as if the oppressor's getting the best of you, you're surrounded by evil and just wicked people, you know, um, doing what they do, doing wicked things, and affecting your life. Just remember the Most High is out here fighting for us, and to take it one day at a time, take refuge in Him, because a lot of trouble is happening right now in the world. There's a whole lot of trouble going on. And I really believe it's directly connected to what we deal with here. What we all go through on our individual lives directly impact what's going on in the world. Every world war was based on our experience here in this world, in this land of our in the land of our captivity, during our exile. The Most High has been fighting for us all that time. He's fighting for us today, And so, with that said, love and respect to all of our people out there doing the work, the soldiers of the Most High, our veterans, even in the military. I come from a military family, and I do respect the people that serve the righteous, especially the righteous. Um, I work. Sometimes when I work, I speak casually, not thinking I'm always not always remembering I'm being monitored to some level and degree. And this I was having this conversation with this gentleman, and we were talking about the military, and I made a statement about serving in the military, about how young men should, when they get out of school, should at least serve in the military, or maybe do some type of community work, or serve at some capacity, because of the discipline it gets. You understand? And now I'm hearing about this drafting. And when I was saying that, my thought process was, I believe that as a nation, we should have that. We should have that discipline, and you should have that discipline, um, growing the men. And of course, I don't believe that. I believe we're headed to peace. You understand? We're not going to be fighting like that in the kingdom of Shalom. Um, you know. And again, like I said, I was thinking of that, from a nation perspective, and now I'm hearing about this draft. Um, I really, I believe that our people out there fighting, The Most High cover you, and you, and all the soldiers. I just don't think our people should be sent to fight for something that's against their best interest. So when they talk about a draft, I don't think it's a wise thing to put the Most High's people out there. You understand, and putting them in a line of fire, um, and not being, you know, transparent about what's really happening. Because again, what affects us directly impacts what happens in the world, judgments, all of those things. So, like I said, salute to all our soldiers, um, the Most High Barak, and we're going to continue to pray that this country does what's right by the Most High's people. We see all of this money being sent overseas to different countries, yet we're not seeing our people being fortified and taken care of. We're not ready if they invade our land. If they attack this country, like, and that's one of that was I've shared visions of that before, and they're already talking about you know Chinese soldiers crossing a border in Texas, and things like that. So as far as we know, they can be living amongst us. And I'm not trying to spread fear or anything, but ignorance is not bliss. You understand? And we should be prepared at any capacity. As to what happens. Coming from New Orleans, seeing disasters happen. My dad always taught me how to be prepared. You know, and a lot of our people aren't prepared. They're just not. And so we're still praying to the Most High for our restoration and for reparations to be made responsibly. Like I said, I don't think it's a one-time thing. I think it has to be done over time with proper education. Um, and like they like during the pandemic, they had all of these programs that no one, it, virtually anyone in our, in the quote unquote black community of business owners didn't qualify for it, didn't get. All that money went to the people who already had money. And, we got shorted. A lot of folks didn't get, the funds from the CARES Act. They considered vaccines. I think someone referred to it as reparations. What a joke. You understand? And so, this country, man, like, um, the more our people are waking up, we see what's going on in the world. That's what makes this conflict so different this time around, is that we're waking up. We see what's going on, and out of we are reminding the nations, we're reminding our people, to wake up to that, and to their true identity, live in that and walk in that, and seek our Messiah for salvation. And so because of that, when we have these disturbances overseas in our homeland, um, it's different now. It's very different, and all of the heavens, all of the host of heaven are witnesses of it. You see. So we're gonna go ahead and leave it right here, Zion, and we have some scriptures here for you to meditate on. Again, this is the Feast of Dedication 2023. We praise the Most High for allowing us to see another feast, another day. And um, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at these scriptures, meditate, and I'll be back with you shortly. So, prayer for salvation. Heavenly Father, praise your name. Forgive me for my transgressions. Have mercy on my soul. Come into my heart and dwell in me. I confess Yeshua is my King and Deliverer, my Redeemer, who will restore his people and manifest his kingdom. So be it. And if you prayed this prayer for the first time today, we welcome you to the kingdom. We encourage you to subscribe to the channel so that you'll be notified for future meditations. And hopefully it'll help strengthen your walk with the Most High and edify your soul. Okay, so we praise the Most High for you. And again, please like, share, and subscribe. It does help move the work forward, spread the message. If you can support, it's much appreciated, and it's going to good ground. All right, Zion. So yeah, more commentaries coming soon. The Most High willing. There is a lot to discuss, and we're not full time yet, building toward that, but we'll be able to do more work. Like I said, we're not trying to build a YouTube channel. We're trying to build a kingdom. We're trying to rebuild the nation and build the kingdom of the Most High, preparing our people for the millennium reign of Shalom. Okay, which actually is Solomon. And so that's like one of the things Feast of Dedication reminds us of. Um, because they had to rededicate the temple. Solomon, of course, dedicated the original temple that was built, um, and it's been defiled a couple of times, and then ultimately torn down. That was, which was prophesied by Messiah. And so this whole season, the whole thing about observing the Feast of Dedication is to just reflect on what our ancestors been through, even during the whole Maccabean period with Antiochus Epiphanes, and then having history repeat itself with Titus in the Roman of the Roman Empire, and how they destroyed our people in 70 A.D. So um, yeah, a very rough time for our people when they definitely had to wait on the Most High. The only time in history, I think, if I'm not mistaken, well, no. It probably, well, I can say they definitely were attacked on the Shabbat. And I don't really recall. We know about the Babylonian attack and the exile. We know about that. It doesn't really say anything specifically that they were attacked on the Shabbat. I may have overlooked it. However, I do know that with particular um, this particular time, thousands of years ago, it's written in history. Something that actually happened. And again, it was a foreshadowing to the slaughter that occurred in 70 AD when our people were destroyed and exiled from the land that they're fighting over today. So it all relates. And I think that the lunar eclipse is funny because, like I said, this whole thing started on a Shabbat. But when they observed the Shabbat, you know, um, after they observe the Feast of Tabernacles, when they do, we observe it by the Kodesh, and we did when we did. And then you had a lunar eclipse not long after. And now, come to find out, the Feast of Dedication actually um, began during that time. And, if that makes sense to you. So, yeah, um, and, just to kind of put things into perspective, the Feast of Dedication was not only a time to rededicate the temple, however, it allowed our people to observe the Feast of Tabernacles because they weren't able to because of the attack um, during that time. So it's kind of like a doubling down. And so yeah, so we'll get more into these things, as the week progresses. It is an 8-day observation, and it crosses over into the new Kodesh. Another thing that makes it unique, the only feast day that is observed from one month to another month, um, you know, um, kind of representing the continuity in the Most High. Um, yeah, so we're gonna look more into these things. In the meantime, beloved, you all take it one day at a time. You stay encouraged. Again, we're gonna be sounding the trumpet. It's a Shabbat anyway because we're observing the Feast of Dedication. Um, and the fourth quarter Shabbat is we're correcting it, and it's going to end tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow evening, and from there on, the day after at sunset, we will be looking for the new Kodesh and marking, the month of Esau. Okay, the 10th month on our Hebrew calendar. All right. So it's not like no, we don't have time to get into that right now. But all right, so again, take it one day at a time. Beloved, you stay encouraged. We love you. And the Most High will, until the next time we meet, may the Most High bless you and keep you, protect you, sustain you, and guard you. May the Most High make his face to shine upon you with favor and be gracious to you, surrounding you with loving kindness. May the Most High lift up his countenance upon you with divine approval and give you shalom. Peace and blessings.